Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear friends, my dear masters, and my dear gods. Such a deep meditation. With today, we are completed 19 days of our journey together for the inner journey, inner transformation program. We have completed 19 hours of meditation, 19 days of meditation, close to be precise, 57 hours. Yes, it is possible. By tomorrow, we will be completing 60 hours of meditation. 60 hours of group meditation. It is not independent meditation. So much of group discussions, so much of clarity on many questions, so much of meditation. Only these things will help us. There are two things a spiritual master should always be very, very careful about. One is the act, one is the thought. Today we will only discuss about these two things. Whatever act you do, in Sanskrit, the real meaning of act is karma. Karma means act. If you do your act right, you get experience. If you do your act wrong, you get karma. You have to pay for it. Yogaha karmaha kaushalyam. Whatever you do, it has to have beauty. It has to be perfect. We spoke about it yesterday. The doer has to do things according to the truth, aligned to the truth. Otherwise, he has to do it again until it is aligned to the truth. Doing act is visible to the physical eyes. Speaking is audible to the physical ear. So it is very easy to be very aware on our acts and the speech. But there is an invisible thing called thoughts. That invisible thing called thoughts, we ignore during meditation and also during other times. We ignore. But what is exactly happening in the invisible world? What happens to every thought you get? Remember the important terminology in spirituality that is called thought forms. There is a book about thought forms. Now you can imagine how serious that subject is. Written by Annie Besant and Ledbetter. A very vast subject, a very deep subject. Thought forms by Annie Besant and Ledbetter. Both are great theosophists. Dr. Seradarian has spoken a lot about thought forms. And personally, I have experienced with me and many of our masters about thought forms and its effects and how it takes shapes, how it is affecting them and others in the long run. I would like to tell you one small story from our mythology to make these thought forms understood very easily. When Shiva married Parvati and took Parvati to the higher worlds, the Shiva Loka, his father, Parvati's father, did a yajna, invited all the celestial masters except Lord Shiva. Knowing this, Sati became very angry. Unknowingly, that it is a trap from his father, she fell into the fire. We know this story. The Shiva comes and destroys everything. But later, what did he do? He went to the mountains, sat there, and only thing he had is grief, dukkha. In that state of dukkha, where is the dukkha? It is in the emotional body. Shiva has lot of energy, a lot of destructor. He had so much of energy, and his astral body had so much of energy, and his emotional body is fully disturbed because of the loss, the grief. Out of this combination, a thought took a form and a soul is born. That soul took 7 lifetimes. And all the 7 lifetimes, that soul went through hell. In the 7th lifetime, from Lord Surya, a body is born, but this soul entered that body, and he is called Karna in Mahabharata. Though Karna had possessed greater energy from Shiva, greater enlightenment, so many great characteristics, he could not be on the side of Dharma. And during the 7th lifetime of Karna, as Karna, during the war, in the mountains, Lord Shiva realized, I should not have grief. What am I doing? He got enlightened. That exact moment, the Karna got enlightened here. Until then, Krishna knows this entire story. And even if he tells, Karna will not listen. So he waited. And when Shiva enlightened on this particular point, his Amshatma, the thought form, got enlightened. Never forget this story, because this has everything to do with us. Every day when you observe, we all are thinking too much. A lot of thoughts comes out of our head. I always say, even in meditation, the thoughts are going out. Ignore it. But all these thoughts, where are they going? They go and get accumulated as thought forms. My father was very angry on a particular lady for many years. I always used to tell him, don't have too much of anger on her. It is not good. He did not listen. Every time he remembers if whatever that person has done to him, cheated, he gets a lot of anger. Once I sat in front of my father, we were talking about few matters. Suddenly, from inside my father, a devilish form of that person just came and it passed through me. He had very anger on a person. All that anger, all the thoughts started taking a thought form. It just went and I clearly saw. And I told him, I warned you for many years not to be so angry, either forget or forgive, attempt, but you did not listen. Now it has taken a form. That is called thought forms. This is my experience. These thought forms will always be with you. And wherever it goes, it will gather similar thoughts and becomes much more stronger day by day because it wants to take a birth. Lord Shiva had so much of energy. So the moment a thought comes, a soul is born. But in general, it requires so much of energy, so many collective thoughts for a thought form to be born. Any place you go, what are the things it is filled with? Nothing but thought forms. There is a temple near Vellore pyramid, Vellore, Tamil Nadu. It is fully made of gold. And I ensured I will never enter that temple, not even once in life. But imagine what kind of thought forms will be in that temple. Anybody who goes there, are they looking any energy or God there? No, they are only looking at gold. Never in my life I have put my leg in any pub or any places which is called downtown. I have never been there because the thought forms are too dark there. It will affect you. Imagine from our childhood how many thought forms we have released. Since it is invisible, nobody speaks about it. Since it is not visible, nobody cares about it. But my dear friends, those are your children. And how are you going to correct it? What did Lord Shiva did? He became enlightened on that grief and said, what am I doing? I'm not going to have any grief. The moment he decided, Karna got enlightened. We don't need to go and search one after one thought. Where is my thought forms? And keep correcting, but you need to correct your inner. Your understanding you need to correct. On every aspect you need to correct yourself. Every realization you get, it can be either in meditation, it can be either from reading a point in the book, it can be either listening to others' experiences, somewhere, something you always get enlightened. Then all the thought forms you created in this lifetime and the previous births will get vanished or enlightened. This is a very vast subject, yet not discussed anywhere, but it is a very serious affair. I have seen many cases where people get highly influenced with their own thought forms. People get highly affected with their own thought forms. But how are you going to get rid of it? It's only by being more aware and being in the path of true spirituality. With more realization, you come out of that. the power of that thought form goes down. Only you have to be aware. For every thought you must observe, hey, is this my thought? Why am I feeling like this? No, it's not mine. This feeling is not mine. And if it is not pleasant, don't care about it. Ignore it. This is how we come out of thought forms, effects. If time permits, or in the future, in your list of books, read this book, either from Tarkam or Theosophy. Every topic, my dear friends, you should at least read 2 to 3 books from 2 to 3 different authors. Every topic. And don't get stuck with one topic. There are thousands of spiritual topics. We must read. So what happens in that particular dimension, you get different points from 2, 3 different masters. So you become more enlightened. The biggest advantage I have is my third eye. So whatever I read, whatever I know, I always see and experience it. So I always verify it. And everybody have their own strengths. You must find what is your strength and how to broaden, strengthen everything you study about every subject. I read in one book that there was a lake, and it is believed there is a very huge snake in the lake. Everybody believed it. Over the generations, everybody used to say, there's a very big snake in the lake. Nobody has seen it. But everybody keeps saying it. So what happens? The moment people go there, fear triggers from the emotional body. And then the thought comes, there is a big snake, it is going to kill you if you go nearby. Those things go, add. And in an astral form, there will be a big snake. People who are psychics, they go and see and say, yeah, I can see that snake. Those forms are called egregores. So they are not real, but they are being formed by the thoughts of either 1 or million people. Imagine our belief systems. Our belief systems, continuously when you are thinking about something, the thought forms are created. Yesterday, we spoke about improvisation of our thoughts, more perfection. Every time you alter, then you don't feed the old thoughts. Thank you, my dear friends. 19 days of journey together, such a beautiful journey. A real spiritual bondage is there between all of us. I wish to see all of you as a very great grand masters in every aspect in your life. You may see results in a short period, or it may take time, but never give up. Thank you very much. We'll again connect tomorrow. Remember about the thought forms. It is always surrounding us. Not only yours, everybody is contributing. Only your enlightenment will help you. Such an interesting subject, and I have thousands of experiences, personal experiences on this. And always remember Lord Shiva and Karna, then you will understand the whole aspect of this. Thanks for the mythology. Thanks for the greatest history. With that references, we are able to easily come out of every track. Thank you. Now please go and rest. We'll again connect tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.